Today we're going to continue our studies on states of matter. Today we're going to focus on the changes of the properties in the states of matter. This video that we're going to view momentarily is going to show the changing states of water. But based on our prior knowledge and what we already know about states of matter, we have been observing and classifying matter as a solid, liquid, or a gas. And we know that these substances share very unique physical properties, and these properties help us to recognize that a solid has a definite shape while the liquid and gas take the shape of the container. So in our next lesson that we're studying today, looking at the changes, you will learn about the tiny particles that make up all matter. And so in this video, you're going to see different models to show you the makeup of these particles in its state as a solid, as a liquid, and as a gas. And you will also see the differences in those particles when it's in their state. And these models are going to help us to explore and see what are the causes, what happens to these substances when thermal energy or heat energy is added or removed from the substance. So pay close attention to the video, and we're going to pause and have discussion on what's going on throughout the video.
To arrive so that she can use her ice skates. The lake near her house is perfect for Jeannie and her ice skating skills. Why does the water on the surface of this lake freeze up during winter? In winters, the heat from the sun is much less than in summers. The liquid water freezes to solid ice. Let's use this bowl of ice to understand why heating causes a change in the state of ice.
So here we're going to make a prediction. Just based on our previous slides, we know that if we're looking at a lake and the temperatures outside are freezing, then the temperature is going to affect the water that's in the lake, and it's going to cause it to freeze, which is going to change the state of the lake from a liquid to a solid. So we're going to make a prediction because now we have a bowl of ice cubes here. And what will happen to these ice cubes if heat was applied to the ice cube? I hope you have made your prediction, and we're going to continue with the video to see what will happen if ice is applied to, if heat was applied to the bowl of ice cubes.
Adding thermal energy causes the tightly packed particles of matter to move apart quickly.
You should have paid very close attention to how the particles appeared when it was a solid, and once heat was added, thermal energy and heat energy is the same thing. Once thermal energy was added, look how the particles are spreading apart. At first they were tight, packed together when it was a solid, but now once the heat has been applied to it, the particles are starting to spread.
This causes solid ice to change into liquid water. This change in state is called melting. What happens when you heat the water?
Let's make another prediction. What do you think will happen once the water begins to heat up? The initial state of our materials was ice cubes. So state, it was a solid. Once heat was applied to it, the ice began to transform into a liquid because of the heat being applied, which is called melting. The process of melting. Once heat was applied to the ice, it caused the process melting.
Adding thermal energy to liquids causes the particles of matter to move farther apart and more quickly. When the water starts boiling, liquid water changes to water vapor, or water in the form of a gas. This change in state is called evaporation.
When has there been a time when you have noticed evaporation? Has there ever been a time when you've noticed evaporation in the real world? Give you a moment to think about it. Let's say it is a hot, sunny day and there was a shower out of nowhere. We just had a rain shower and all of a sudden we have puddles of water on the sidewalk or maybe in the street, courtyard, in your yard, driveway. It stops raining. The sun comes out and then it's extra hot now that it is raining. What happens to the water in your driveway or the water that's in your yard or the water that you may have saw in the street when it rained, when you had a shower? The heat from the sun causes the water to evaporate. So depending on how hot it is outside, you probably won't see the water again if we have a shower that causes rain puddles or puddles in your yard, driveway, or maybe on the sidewalk. And so this process is called evaporation. It's the same thing as when heat is applied to liquid water. And you can see the steam or gas coming from the container.
We just saw how solid ice can be changed into liquid water and then into water vapor. How can we change water vapor back to ice?
How can we make this process happen? Can we make it happen? Is it possible for us to make it happen? If you're thinking that we can make it happen, that is correct. And how can we make it happen? Simply by putting it in a cold state now. So if we were to place the water in a freezer, it will go back to a solid.
Let's conduct an experiment to find out. Place a cool lid over this hot bowl. When the water vapor touches the cool lid, it starts to cool down. This causes the particles of water to slow down and move closer together to form back liquid water. When water freezes, it causes the particles to slow down further and move closer together. The liquid water changes into solid ice. The process by which water vapor changes to liquid water is called condensation.
Other times you may see condensation is when you are stepping out of the shower. You know this, if you're taking a very warm shower, a very hot shower, there's a lot of steam that comes from the water, from your shower, from your bathtub, and you would notice condensation starts to form on your mirror. If you have a mirror in your bathroom, especially when you open the door to let that cool air interact with the warm air, then you will see those droplets form on your mirror in your restroom or your bathroom. And you also may see it on your window if it's very cold in your house and very warm outside. You can oftentimes see it on your window, especially if it rains. It can be very muggy outside and cool inside, and if the air connects and meets, then you can see again those droplets form on your window.
The process by which liquid water changes to solid ice is called freezing. Although water can be a solid, a liquid, or a gas, it's still water. Winter is finally here, and Jamie is putting her ice skates to good use. Look at her go! Let's go through all that we learned today. When solid ice turns to liquid water on heating, the change in state is called melting. Evaporation is a change in state from liquid water to water vapor. On cooling, the water vapor changes to liquid water through a process called condensation. Freezing is a change in state from liquid water to solid ice.
So today we have learned two processes where we have seen a liquid change to a solid and a solid change to a liquid. So you want to make sure that you remember those vocabulary terms that you learned today. Freezing. Freezing is the process where a liquid changes to a solid caused by cooling or removing the heat energy from it, or thermal energy. And melting is the other process that we learned where we're changing a solid to a liquid. So this happens when when thermal energy is added to the substance, which causes